integration.
This conference will now be recorded.
Today, we will do one more live integration. Now, the integration concept remains same. The same endpoint URL, same HTTP equals to new HTTP, HTTP request, request.set endpoint URL, request.set method, HTTP response equals to sp.send, then serializing, deserializing, right? That's your integration. It's all done. Let us see one more example, right? I will show you one more example. And then what we'll do is that we will go ahead and right this time we will write an integration services through a batch apex. Yesterday we did with a class at trigger. So today we will do what? Let's understand. Rupam @of91.com, right? Password
CRM.
INDIA1234 hash, right? India1234 hash. I log into your environment. What should we be doing today? Last class we have taken lead. As soon as you create a lead, I want to send an SMS through an SMS gateway. Today, what we'll do, right? Today we will see, right? We will do the batch apex. We will go to the sales module, right? We'll go to the sales module and right on the opportunity, right? All these are opportunities. You can see that these opportunities are showing some amount. I go to the details. It shows amount. Amount equals to what? Let's say that 50K, 56K. What is this amount? This amount is USD. I want this to be converted to INR. I want this to be converted to INR. 56,000 into current rate. Able to understand what is my requirement? I don't want to convert all. I don't want to convert at the time, and as soon as I click on save, then I have to write an integration program on the class and trigger. I have to write on the trigger. My requirement is that every month once I will convert this. I will run a batch. As soon as I run a batch, all these wherever I have an amount, whichever has A test, B test, B tech, C tech, if I have put some amount, right? B tech 56,000. System should be able to convert this to what? I should be able to see this conversion happening to the right exchange rate. What is exchange? What are the different exchange rate available? XE.com. XE.com. XE.com gives you the world currency exchange rate. XE.com gives you $1 equals to how many INR? Go 1 USD. It will say that today's rate is 74.8197. Will this rate be standard? No. Today this rate. Tomorrow it might change. It might become 74.63. Day after tomorrow it might become 75. This is not constant. I need an API. You can say that business APIs. I need an API, currency converter API. This is a paid API. You can have a 7-day trial and you can start integrating. I have like this. There are so many applications, third-party applications are there who provides you currency conversion. Here 7 days. Go for currency layer. Currency layer. Go for currency layer. It's free. They also give you the conversion. They also give you the live conversion. See that on the screen, the live conversion is going on. Live rate. See, the numbers are changing. If you observe, it's flickering. Live currency conversion. Live currency conversion. Right? Sign up for free. Right? Free. It's not a paid. These big companies are using Disney, right? TeamViewer. These big, more than 2,250,000 trusted company using this currency layer. Right? Why this software is used real-time JSON. to 168 world currencies. What is the output I'm getting? My output will be in JSON. They will give you the output in what format? Can you see the format here? It's a JSON format. You know how to serialize, deserialize, same thing. Now let us go ahead and sign in. Let's see whether, right, Rupam, forgot password, submit a request, right? Let me go open my email. If you want, you can have to open a new Gmail. You have to open a new currency layer account. Right, there we go. Reset your password. Reset. All of you has to open a new account. Password. CRM1234 hash. CRM1234. Oh, CRM1234 hash. Reset password. Your password has been reset. Right? Email address. Password CRM1234 hash. Before you start doing integration, I told you, oh, here also there is a key. See, key, key, key. I will go. So we need this key, guys. Key, currency layer key. Let's go to the API usage. API. No, nothing. Right? Let's go to documentation on the top. You have to find where is the document. See, this is the URL they have. On that, you have to give an key. Right? Currency layer. So what we'll do is that code example Java. Fastest way to see whether can I understand or not. Look for the endpoint URL. How does the endpoint URL? Okay, this is the base URL. On that URL, what are the things I have to pass? Here it is. URL plus access key, right? From to, this is the format. I have to follow this format. My main aim is to find this currencylayer.com, right? Let us see. Here it is. Endpoint access key. Okay. Right. Accessing real-time exchange rate. I want this. Actually, I want this. Right. I need this. This is what I need. Scrolling up api.currencylayer.com, right? URL api.currencylayer.com, right? So all these documentation where I can see currency layer, there are a lot of link. Somewhere it says currency layer, somewhere it says this layer, api.currencylayer. Scroll up, look for, you have to read this documentation thoroughly before you go ahead and start using these things, right? You have to go with this document perfectly. So when we go ahead with this document, right? So the first thing of any integration is that you have to go through these documents. You have to go through these documents. Everywhere I see that this is the terms, condition. I'm still going down and I'm going up and I'm seeing whether api.currencylayer.privacy, right? Currency conversion. Scroll up, right? Do one thing, right? This is the API currency layer. They are giving lot of link API endpoint. See that? This is the currency layer endpoint. Do I have a sample? Can I run a sample to see? Right. These are all the things you have to do, guys. Your access key, API.currency layer. Right. Can I see the API response? I'll get a response like this. Right. I just want to see more examples. So this will take time where you have to you have to find what the end URL looks, how the end URL will give you the result. Any examples? Response, okay. JSON callback, JSON formatting in the JSON API.currency layer, right? This is what they are using. API.currency layer, right? API feature, real-time rate, access source currency, right? Now, right, let me see one more here. Dot API, API. So in real time, right, they will be giving you these all, right? Explore the product. Okay, API layer. Okay, not a problem. Let's go ahead. Now let's go ahead and do, right, a live integration. Do I have anything more here? Request API, run a request API. Let's see. Access denied. API.currency layer, access denied. Okay, not a problem. I'm getting access denied, but no issues, right? JSON format request live. Oh, this is how you'll get API layer, success false, error, code number this, access restricted. Your subscription does not support HTTP encryption. Okay, see, I'm getting a response in what format? In JSON format. I'm just trying to see these UIs and layers, how these layers are working, right? How these layers are working. Okay, now let's go ahead and start this, right? So let's start .live. I'm still thinking which URL to take. How can this is a JSON? These are the error codes they have defined. You can see that error code 101, 404, error code 104. User has reached the exceeded his subscription. So there are a lot of, right? There are a lot of convert. Here's a convert one, right? Convert a rate from this, right? So I'll be taking this, your API endpoint. Let's take this .com convert, right? So first you have to understand, right, the complete structure, how my endpoint URL will look. So many endpoint URL are there. You will be spending at least a day and a half to do the programming. But before you start doing the programming, reading. Now, what I'll do is that let me go ahead and start doing the programming. So let me log in to the environment, which I have already logged in. I click on setup. I click on developer console, right? I click on developer console. Right, close, close. File, new class I'm creating. What is that? CL underscore 3007 underscore INT underscore RT underscore currency converter.
20.
That's okay. Currency converter. It's a class. Now, I want to do a batch apex. Tell me, what is the structure for batch apex? Tell me the structure for batch apex. How many methods are there in batch apex?
3.
What are those? Start, execute, finish.
Finish.
Global database, BASE database, global database dot query locator. You remember query locator? You have to use start. I'm writing the start method. Start what? Database dot batchable. We always say BC. Database dot batchable context. This is a context, not batchable. Right? Start method. Next, execute method. Global. void execute method. In the execute method, there also database dot batchable context. Database dot batchable context. Right? BC. Everywhere I'm giving BC, so BC, comma, list of what? List of opportunity. That list will be called as scope. Nobody should ask me what I'm doing. Already we did this. Last method, global void finish. Global void finish method. First, I'm writing the structure. I told you by heart this structure. Database dot batchable context. Batchable context. BC. Finish. Right? Class implements. Implements what? Database dot batchable. Right? Where? On S object. Right? Right? This is how the batch apex. This is how the batch apex we write. Everyone should be. This is the batch apex structure. Batch apex structure. Right? First, global database query locator start database dot batchable context BC. Now here, what is the first work? I want that pull all the opportunity record string query equals to select. What are the things I need? ID, comma, amount. ID, comma, amount, comma. Let's do one thing. Let's go there, right? I have amount in USD. Let's create one more field. Amount in INR. I'm going to set up in opportunity. I'm going to create a field called INR value. INR value. Objects and fields. Object manager. Which object? Opportunity object. Opportunity object. Fields and relationship. I click on new field. What is that field? Let me take a text field. I'll tell you why. Because if I take a currency field, it will show in USD. So I'm taking text field. Click next. I'm saying INR value. INR value. Number of characters supported 50. Let it be. Click next. Click next. Click save. Automatically a field has been created called INR value. I'm scrolling down, looking for that custom field called INR value. Where is that? Here it is. INR underscore value. Next time when you go to the opportunity, you refresh, you will get INR value 0. There I'll be converting the dollar to rupee. I go to details, right? I should be able to see INR value somewhere. A field will come automatically, right? INR value. It will take little time in the opportunity. I should be able to see a field called as INR value. It should come automatically after 2 or 3 refresh. I should be able to see INR value, a field. Whatever the amount that you enter, I want it to convert with the current latest, right? Do you see INR value anywhere? Okay, leave it, it will come. So we created a field. Let's come to the programming. Comma, INR value from opportunity. Opportunity. Pull all the opportunities. Pull all the opportunities. I've pulled. Now this is just a string. I have to run the string to get the data. RET return. Return what? Database dot get query. Get query locator. See, string. Where is the query? Here is the query. Done. This will get all the opportunity with ID, amount, and in INR value. It'll pull. It'll be returning it to which method now? It'll be returning it to the finish method, right? Execute method. So first step, start method is to pull the data in batch apex. So I pull the data. Control S. Let's see. Wait. Still have error is gone. Perfect. Now in the execute, whatever this data is returning will come to as opportunity, and it's a scope that we'll call as scope. Here I will write my integration program in execute method. Start method is to pull, execute method is to do the job, and finish method is to do any type of post processing actions like sending email, which we have already did in our development classes. Right now, first string URL equals to, it is endpoint URL now. What I'm writing, I've started my programming now, guys. String URL, right? What is that? So from where I'm taking the string, I have to take the string from here. These are the places. API.com convert from, but I don't see a token here. It has to have a token, otherwise it will not give, right? If I run this program, copy it, if I run it, will I get a result? Right? Missing access key. See, if I run this, I'm mixing access key. That means I want where key has to be taken. Access keys has to be inserted. Right? You have to do a lot of research here, guys. JSON format, right? Access keys here. Specs and access key. How can I pass? API, live, question mark, access key. You have to read this complete document, right? You have to read this complete documentation. Remember this very well, right? Code example, right? You have to read this document. If you don't read, you'll not be able to find. API.currency layer live access is this. This is endpoint URL. It's saying API.currency layer. Then access key is this, source from, right? Endpoint URL. Here it is. /live. After the live, question mark, then access key. First form this. Control C. I'm taking a notepad and I'm forming the endpoint URL. The whole game is endpoint URL. A live access key. What is my access key? My access key, I'll take it here. First form this my access key. Okay. Key equals to this. After that, what? Access key is this. Then see whether you're getting correct result or not. So access key is this. Currencies. I have no. I don't need currencies. Where is that? Currencies USD. I don't need. I need currencies. Okay, currencies. Let's take currencies. So they are saying that and source equals to GB. Okay, I'm taking currencies. Currencies source. Anything you can copy this. Oh, here it is. So, right, HTTP currency layer. So why it's coming in this way? I can't copy it. Very bad. Access key I gave and source equals to. Okay, let's write then. And source, right? And source equals to source. Source equals to USD. And currencies and CURR RRENCIES. Why I'm writing in caps? CURR RR, ENCIES. Currency spellings are right. Currency equals to what? INR. And what was that more? Let me go to the documentation. I'm checking all from the documentation. Source, currency, and format equals to 1. Okay, and format equals to 1. Last is and FOR MAT, format equals to 1. Now let us copy this link and see whether I'm getting a response or not. Perfect. See that? Perfect, I'm getting it. This is my endpoint URL we have formed. Here is the endpoint URL I have formed. Now let's go ahead. I will take what? Till live. Control C. Earlier, here I was taking in the place of URL, I was saying endpoint. Today I'll take EP. Endpoint only, meaning is same. This is the URL. Now I have to build this URL. I have to build this URL. So EP equals to EP plus, okay, why to build? We can go ahead and we can build half of the structure up to here we can build, no? Up to here we can build. Control C. Not only this, I will say here. I'm hard coding the key also. Key, my key. Perfect. Then I have to add what? And source equals to USD. Okay, this also I can hard code, no? I don't need. And currency equals to, right? I can hard code everything actually. The complete, I don't need. If you want a currency, actually I can hard code this complete URL. If you want to put this currency here, right? For example, you are using a multi-currency, then you will say currency equals to, right? Able to understand, guys? Then I will not, what currency, right? I want to convert into INR, but in my system I have a USD as well as in the place of USD, you can put like this plus what is that? Scope dot or plus, you can directly use the field currency, CURRENCY. That means I'm taking from system. But now I can give this whole endpoint URL because I made it exactly in this format, right? Access key is this, source equals to USD. So my endpoint is done. My URL is done. Now let us go ahead, right? Control S. This is the endpoint URL, right? string string. Now, right? Let me go ahead and do the integration program. HTTP P equals to new HTTP. New HTTP. There we go. New HTTP. Then HTTP REQ request. I always call as request. Today we'll call RQ equals to new request. New HTTP. Now nobody should have confusion because for the last 2 days I'm doing the same thing, guys. The first thing, RQ dot set endpoint URL. Set endpoint. Where is your endpoint? My endpoint is called EP now. EP. I've set my endpoint. Set the endpoint. What is the method? Right? For that I have to go to the documentation to find out the method. Method. What method I have to use? I don't know. Right? If they don't give you any method, in that case you will use what? Get. The default method is always get, not post. We'll see post in next class. Default, mostly it will be get. So no methods are there. Okay. API, documentation. Any methods? Any method? Right. Okay. let's say that one PHP example, what they have used, method. So same thing, API dot access key is this, from to amount. Okay, perfectly fine. Java, right? Do you see any method? Does they define any method? No, they didn't give any method. Do I see method? REST? No, no methods. So if I don't see any method, then I will take by default get, right? RQ dot set endpoint. No, why? RQ dot set method. ME method. What method? I will say it's a get method. If you don't have any method, it's a get method. Perfect. Now let us go ahead and post the response. HTTP response. I say RS response equals to what? Equals to P dot. P is my protocol. P dot send. P dot send. Send what? Send a request. What is the request? RQ is the request. Send. Done. Now I will get the response in what? I will get the response whenever this URL is posted. Which URL? This URL that we created is posted. System will give me immediately a response like this. From there, I have to read. What I have to read? USD INR, here it is. 7489. What type of response it is? It's a JSON format. That means I have to do a JSON deserialization now. Now I will say what? Right? So got it. Response is done. Right? So response is done. What I will say? String response, string JSON string, right? Anything, string result. This is a result I'll get, equals to what? RS dot get body. Get the body. RS dot get body. And the body will be stored where? That means the result will be stored here in the result. Now we have to deserialize this. How to deserialize? Let's go ahead. Right? How to deserialize? System, everyone knows it. System dot JSON parser. JP is equals to, what is that? JSON dot create parser. Create parser. On what? On this result. What was the response I got on this result? On this result. Now system will parse. Next, while guys, I'm doing this program every day, the same thing I'm doing. This is the last day I'm doing, right? Every day I'm doing the same thing. My programming remains same. It's not changing. Only thing is that I'm writing this program in a class, calling it using what? Using a trigger. Today I'm writing in a class, but in a batch Apex structure. While what? While jp.next token is not null. jp.next token is not equals to null. That means there is some data inside. If the token is null, that means no output was given. So whatever the response I got, the body I stored in the result. Now I'm parsing the result. Token null. Now I have to say, okay, if I have to get the value out of this whole thing, I have to get what? If jp.next token, if jp dot get text, get text is equals to what? See the output. Where is my? Here it is. Where? USD INR. Then the next is 74.89. If jp dot, so after parsing, go and find this. I will say next jp dot next token. Next token Immediately the next token is what? 74 point some change. Now I'll store it. I will store it. I will store it. So what I will do, I will declare what? I will declare a decimal. I'm declaring now an integer, a decimal variable, DCIML, decimal AMT, amount. Let me not put in while, Control X, right? I will put it immediately after the result. I'll put it amount. Oh, why parser? Control X. Immediately after this, after the get the body, declare an amount variable. Now I will say AMT is equals to what? I have to do a parsing. What parsing? Decimal parsing. DECIMAL, decimal. Decimal what? JP dot GET, get decimal value. Get decimal value. That means go to the next token, whatever the value is there, cast as decimal, and I'm storing an amount. Here it will be stored. Now that means from the output that I got, I'm taking out only this 74 point something. I'm taking out 74 point this. This is what I want, right? I don't need the timestamp. I don't need the privacy. I don't need anything. I just need this. So that I'm consuming it and I'm storing an amount. Now, right? While is there. So done. I'm out of the while loop. While is over. Now in the amount, I'll have the number. I'll have the data stored in the amount. In the amount, my data will be stored. What I have to do then, that means 74 point some change will be stored here. I have to multiply this with what? With the amount. Amount I already pulled in. Yes, with an SQL query I pulled it. It's available. So let's do this. Right? There'll be, because this query will give you list more than one, and that list is called as what? Scope. What we are calling it, scope. So what I will do is that now here I will write a loop again. For what? For opportunity. OP from scope. After this query runs in the start method, all the data will be given back to execute method. In the execute method, that list is called as scope. From the scope, each one opportunity is called OP now. What I will do, I will just multiply OP dot okay, sorry, I was on mute. So OP dot what? OP dot INR value. This is a place where I want to OP dot INR value. OP dot INR value is equals to what? INR value is a text. Remember that. I will say rupees. Say I'm adding a text. Rupees. INR value I have taken as a text field. Plus. Now I have to do the multiplication. Right? What multiplication? In the amount, my data is stored. Into amount I consumed. In the amount, I'm storing the conversion rate. That's what I parsed it and I stored in the amount. Into opportunity amount. Opportunity amount is where we pulled amount. Into OP dot amount. Into OP dot amount. Multiplication is done. After your multiplication is done, any error? Let's see what is the error it gives. Right? Variable does not exist called amount. Woo. A-M-O-U-N-T. Spelling should be correct, guys. Not A-M-O-U-N-T. Here what I have taken, amount. Control S. Now it's okay. Error gone. I've multiplied. Right? After I multiply, I can say update scope. Over. My whole logic is over. My whole program is over. Finished. I formed an endpoint URL. I requested. I got the response. I got response. My response is stored where? In RS. From the RS, I got the body that is stored in result. From the result, I deserialized it and I took out the amount. I want the amount. I stored the amount. Later, I multiplied my amount 77, 74 point something into amount. Over. Control S. Perfectly fine. Before we go ahead and run, let us check in the opportunity whether that field is now visible or not. Right? See how easy the integration is in the real time. People say it's difficult, but once you understand the whole thing and logics, there's nothing called difficult in this world. So I'm forming an endpoint URL. I'm asking that system, hey system, give me the rate. System gave the response in JSON. I deserialized the JSON. I captured what I want, and then I multiplied into the price, and I said update the field. Done. That's the logic. Same thing I'm doing. I put it in the batch apex. BTEC. Now I'm seeing whether that field is visible or not first. Amount is there, right? I should have, oh, INR value. See that? It's blank now. Because I have not run a batch apex. I want to do it for all the opportunities at a time in a single go for BTEC, OPTEC, right? NTEC, CTEC. So many opportunities are there, right? All these opportunities should update the amount. Loop technology, right? MAD opportunity, right? Let us see any amount is there. If the amount is there, system should go ahead. Let's say MAD opportunity 67,000, 6,700. It's in dollar. I want to convert into USD. That means immediately when I run the batch apex, I should be able to see INR value here. For one? No, for all. Right? For BTEC and MADTEC. Let's run it. How do you run a batch apex? Through execute anomalous window. How do you run it? How do you run it? You go ahead and you say class name. Now, one more thing, it will not run. It will not run. Why? Two things. First of all, you have to add this. Where? In the remote site setting. Don't be in a hurry. It will not run. So I have to go to the remote site setting. I told you everything has to be added to remote site setting. Right? So I go to my security. I go to remote site setting. Add it. Without adding to remote site setting, it will not work. Add it. I will say what? Currency conversion. Some name I'm giving. Save. We have added. We have added. Done. First step is done. One more step I have to do. Whenever you are calling a batch apex, by default it's feature. It's a future. So I need not to write future. Not only that, here you have to say comma. One extra thing you have to write. Database.allow callouts. Right? Allow callouts. Dot ALLOW. Allows callout. If you remember that in the yesterday also I said allow callout. You have to write this. Allows callouts. Outs. S is there. Control S. Let's see whether I have an error or not. No error. Database.allow callout. You have to write this. If you don't write, system will not call third party. Batch apex will work for only internal. I'm telling batch apex, hey batch apex, it's an integration. Call out. You have to call someone else. Yesterday also I said call out true. If you remember, @ future call out true. So every time you have to set call out true. Call out true. call out. Now let's go ahead and run. Debug, open execute NMS window, scrolling down over my integration, right? Currency conversion equals to new class, right? Now, how do we batch? We say database dot, right? How do we execute it? Database dot, right? We go ahead and execute. How do you execute a batch apex, guys? Tell me. Database
Database.execute batch.
dot execute, right? Execute batch, right? Right? Database dot execute batch. What is that batch? My batch is, right? CE. CE is my batch.
CC sir.
Oh, CC, sorry. CC is my batch, right? Execute highlighted. Now the batch apex has run, right? Let's go ahead and refresh. It all happened. It got the response, it read the response, it multiplied the response. Let's see whether everything is fine or not. Go to the details. Oh, my INR value is not yet coming up. My INR value is not yet coming up. I should have an INR value here. System should multiply this into this. Let's go to the developer console. Let's see the log, whether it gives any error or not. Sorry? What happened? I said allow callouts, right? Debug. Let's see. Any problem? Here I can see complete. But job ID is this. It's giving a job ID, right? Is it calling any services, right? So am I able to capture the value or not? Let's understand. Right? Looks like that I'm not getting anywhere. So what I will do is that I will say here before updating here system dot, right? System dot system system dot debug system dot debug what? System debug amount AMT amount, or you can put system dot debug the data captured data captured is plus amount. Let us see whether the amount we are able to capture or not. Then we'll see whether the multiplication is happening or not. Amount. Control S. Debug. This is how you debug, guys. I say execute highlighted. System is running. Batch apex. Double click. Let us see the debug. No debug. Right? It'll be there somewhere. Right? Scroll down and check. Okay, nothing in this. There's a one more batch apex service. Let's see. I say debug. No debug. Do I see anywhere my value? Sorry?
Sir, there is something argument cannot be null.
Argument cannot be null. Where it is? Right?
Below line, sir.
Right. Select
No, sir.
this. Right. Wait. Let us see. Currency conversion. Right. Child
Serial
ID
value.
is right. Job ID is this. Okay. Oh, that's okay. I'm able to understand. Argument cannot be null. That means there is some null point errors. That means system is not able to update null. Right. I got the whole story there. Right. Okay. Fine. Let us read. Argument cannot be null. I saw that there's error there. Right. Debug. No. I'm not getting anything. Right. Let's open argument cannot be null. Serial chunk handler. In the chunk handler looks like that. Did I capture the currency or not? I want to see first. Did I capture the currency or not? I gave .debug, all right?
Could we change the query as where amount not
Here it is.
equals to?
Wait. See, it's capturing. Data captured is 74.98. So that means, right? This still here, everything is fine. By this, I understood that my endpoint URL is working. My JSON parser is working. From the parser, I'm able to get the amount out because I gave amount. So 74, somewhere it's wrong here only. Somewhere it's wrong here. Somewhere it's wrong here. In this statement only. So see how I am right defining or how I'm closing down the circuit. The whole programming I'm narrowing down to my area, problem area. So till here, amount is there, perfectly fine. Amount is getting captured. That's exactly what I want to see. Yes, am I getting 74.89? Yes. Now that amount I'm multiplying with what? OPP amount. That is happening or not, we want to see. That is happening or not, we want to see. Right? Let's see. System.debug. Is there an error there? System.debug. What is that? Right? The multiplication. Our integration is working fine. The mult is what? Okay, let's do this. Right? Control C. I'm doing it. I'm saying, right? String. string string x is equals to rupees plus amount into this, and I will say string x equals to rupees plus amount into opportunity. I want to see whether this multiplication is happening or not, right? String x, control S. I'm declaring.
For OP,
What is that?
for loop,
Right?
OP is for loop, right? Opportunity.
Sorry.
That
Oh, okay,
opportunity.
right. That's correct. That's correct. So that means I cannot go ahead and multiply here. So what I will do is that I will just give a static number, opportunity into $10. Let's see whether it's multiplying out. Multiplication is happening or not. I want to see first. Right? Control S. Amount into 10. Amount into 10. And then put it. Then we will see whether it's happening inside the loop or not. Whether multiplication is a problem or not, I want to check. String x equals to rupees amount is 74 point into 10, so 740 some change. I should get in the debug this. Everybody's able to understand what I'm doing, yes or no? Right? By now you're end of the batch class, so don't say that sir ardham avvatledani. Now again I ran it. Oh, argument, let's see. I'm opening it. Debug. Yes, multiplication is also happening. 748. Is that into 10, right? 74 point something into 10 is this. Perfect. So that means this is also not a problem. Multiplication is also not a problem. The problem is that, where is the problem then? Whether this multiplication, sorry, control Z, I will say system.debug. Let's see. System.debug. What is this? OPP.value plus OPP.value. I'm removing this now. I want to know whether is it that system is able to multiply here with amount or not. Control S. Right? I saved it. Step by step. Execute highlighted, expected. Right? What happened? Executed highlighted. Oh, executed highlighted. I press execute. Right? So argument cannot be null. Let's see. Here is, now we will realize what happened. So for the first one, it's multiplying. See, second one in the loop, there is a problem. That means whenever the system is trying to multiply zero with something and it wants to add, it's creating a problem. That's the whole story that we are able to understand. In the loop, the first data it's multiplying, second data it's giving an error. It's not multiplying because what it says, argument cannot be null, because that time it was a null. So right, amount null, it's trying to multiply null into this. Realistically, it shouldn't give an error. Null into this, right? It shouldn't give an error. I should be able to see if it's a zero, it should show zero there, right? So what I will do is that for the moment, to tap this, I will say if one more. If what? If OP dot amount is greater than 0. If OP dot amount is greater than 0, that means not null. Control X, Control V, then Control X. I'm avoiding the null. Wherever the amount is null, blank, because the problem is that it's not 0. This amount field is not 0, it's null. Null into what is actually happening? The problem I'm telling you now. What is the problem? Amount. For example, one of the opportunity amount is not there. One of the opportunity amount is not there. For example, OTEC. In OTEC, do you have amount? Amount is there? Not there, blank. Amount is blank. System is taking what here? In such opportunity, whenever it's coming, the amount is blank. How do you define a blank? Null. Now what you're doing is that 74 point some change, whatever the data that we captured, into null. Amount into this I'm doing, no. If it would have been a 0, then yes, I'd have not got an error. But now you're trying to multiply a number with a null. That is what the problem. Understood, guys? What is happening? Null error. Why I'm getting argument cannot be null? Because it's trying to multiply. Amount is null. Null into this, it's giving him a problem. Let's see whether this saves our life or not.
Instead of 0, give the not equal to null. It's also working, right, sir?
It should also work if not equals to null. Okay, let's take your wish. If amount is not equals to null, perfect. Take only those opportunity where it's not null. Then numbers will be there and then we can multiply it. It's a multiplicative error of a null. So I say execute highlighted. Now let's see. See that no null error. See, no null error. Go ahead and check. Go ahead and check. You will have the value there. MatTech, right? Details, right? Where is my INR? See the INR conversion. 501813. Today's rate. If I run tomorrow, this value will change again. Tomorrow's rate, it will multiply. Whenever I run, it will get the rate from where? From the live environment, it will get the rate. See, over. How easy is the integration? OTEC, I open OTEC. Oh, I already open OTEC, no? There is no amount. If there is no amount, then what will happen? No conversion will happen. INR value is null. Right? Next, BTEC, I'm opening. Yes, there is amount, 56,000. What is, this is dollar, $56,000. In India, how much is the amount? See, 4 lakh, right? How much? Ones, tens, 100,000, 1 lakh, 10 lakh, 41 lakh, 94,459.660 rupee. With a current rate, if the rate changes automatically, from where I'm getting the rate? From the integration, I'm getting the rate. Over. This is how you debug and you start doing the things, guys. Everybody understood, right? See, integration program. From here, get the live rate, store in the result, deserialize, get the amount out, multiply the amount with the multiply whatever the rate you got, rate with amount. Take wherever amount is not null, because null into a number is giving an error, not null. That means amount field, some dead data is there. So if that, multiply it. I don't need this line also. It's a waste. Over. Control S. Understood, guys. This is the third real-time example I'm showing you. I showed with the postal code. I showed with SMS integration. Now a currency converter integration. I showed you. Next class, we will see, right, how to expose a service, how to expose a program to outside. How can I expose this particular program? I want to create an account. How can I expose this program? Here, we are not exposing anything ourselves. We are asking them to give something. They are giving. After they give, we are eating it. We are consuming it. Yesterday, we gave only phone number. Day before yesterday, we gave a pin code. We are giving a pin code, and they are giving the response back, and we are using the response. Tomorrow's class, I will show you how to go ahead and expose a method to an outsider endpoint, right? And then I'll give you some real-time one, right? We just need another 3-4 days class to end the course. Your integration will come. I'll be showing you next REST and SOAP, live REST and SOAP. These are called REST API. Whenever I'm integrating something, these are all REST API. JSON is REST, XML is SOAP, REST API. I will still show another version of REST and SOAP API. 2 versions I'll show. So by next week, your batch is coming to an end, just to keep you updated. Then I will start the project session. Another, I can say 4-5 days. Then I'll give the project. Then tata, bye-bye. Your course will end. Between me and you, it'll be end. Right, guys?
Sir, I have one more doubt. Here we are taking custom field as a INR value. Without INR value, we can override the amount field.
Yes, you can. But the amount
Or we
field is
have
a
to write
dollar, no?
figure, right?
The amount field will show the currency. Never override that. Because amount field, if you want amount field, always will show what it will show with the USD. Cancel. When I say cancel, it shows USD. So no, right? If you want, you can overwrite, but let it be the base
Like how to
currency,
get
because
figure?
this is the field which will be useful for reporting. In a reporting, let it be in a single currency. You put another field,
Okay.
right? Real time, don't change this, override this field, create a one more field, because I want to see in INR, somebody wants to see in yen, then so let it be USD. You can put a drop down saying that what INR or this thing. Then if somebody selects INR, then I want it to multiply with INR value. Same integration concept. If you say if selection equals to INR, then multiply with this amount. We got how to get a multiple information. How can I get a multiple currency? Go ahead, check the dashboard. It's giving USD. It will give you multiple also. I told you, no?
While creating opportunity.
While creating opportunities, you have to select only one currency. You cannot select multiple currency. You select USD. Let your base currency be USD. Don't disturb the USD. Let the base currency be USD and give a drop down box called selection, currency selection. Choose the currency you want to see. If you select INR, in the next field, it will show the INR value. Do in that way. Here, if and selection equals to INR, then amount into this. Else if, again you will write else if what? op.amount is not null and selection equals to n, yn, then this value is equals to amount 1. In amount 1, you will store n. Like this amount 2, amount 3, amount 4, whatever your company is working. So as soon as they click on that, they save it with this option. Next time when you run the batch Apex, it will show you if the selection, if you have to create a field called selection field, something, another field. If the selection is INR, then there it will show you have selected INR, so the currency conversion is this. This is what you have to do. Use your brain. Don't say me now I don't know. If you don't know, then I can't help. Definitely I can't help. We are in the end of the course now. You should be able to build the logics and everything by now. Any questions? I've placed the program back to its original status. Any question, guys? Everybody is able to understand how the integration is happening? This program I'm writing again every day. This piece. For the last 3 days, I'm doing the same thing. So this is how your integration works.
Can I write
Next
this
class.
same program at the red feature?
Sorry?
Can I apply this same code for the at the red feature?
Yeah, why not? You can put in the method also, class method. You can call them with a trigger. As soon as they hit save, immediately it will make a call out. You can call it anywhere. I'm showing one example. That's the reason. Didn't we write yesterday? What is the difference between today and yesterday program? Yesterday we fetch what? Right? Yesterday what we did? Right? Yesterday we sent a local text message. Now you will request, you will get the data. Same program yesterday also we have written. There's no difference. It's only where and how I'm calling. Thank you guys. Let's meet tomorrow. Same time. Till then, have a nice and wonderful day. We will do the second level of REST and SOAP API. Bye-bye, guys.